What is going on? Billy Cowell here from the car today, doing a quick video about why we moved to Texas. All right, it's It's an interesting topic, not only because it's part of the testimony of our family, but because I think the fact that we moved here to Texas is going to be a testimony to others, as I've discovered living here, to people from New York City, from the Northeast, from California, from another big place is Chicago, who have moved to this area because it is absolutely beautiful. It is so well put together, and it's a lot newer. Everything's newer. The infrastructure is newer. The way that they do the government here is newer. Everything is just so much different than what I'm used to, having been in Manhattan for the last 15 years. We lived on the Upper East Side of Manhattan for about 15 years, and we wanted to have a family. In New York City, if you're watching this video and you're from New York City, you might relate that family values are not very big. Kids are not very big. Schools are not, this is debatable, but I didn't think the schools were very good there. Church is not an option. We went to Hillsong, New York City. It was a tremendous church, but that was like the only place to go. New York City is a good thing for many, many things, but families buying a home and schools are not really one of those things. Now, we looked around Connecticut, we looked around Jersey, we looked, everywhere trying to find something, and it just, the home prices, the value never compared to when you try to compare it to places that we looked, like in North Carolina and Colorado and in this area here. If you Google, best places to raise a family, best places to buy a home, best places to relocate. Austin is the #1 city in the country to relocate to. And the only reason we didn't pick to go check out Austin is because their airports are just not that great. And with my wife's business, and hopefully going forward, we have a lot more of that type of travel. It is really nice to be right out of DFW. Especially after years of traveling in and out of the NYU airports, JFK and LaGuardia and Newark. We lived in Manhattan, and it was sometimes 4 trains to get to JFK airport, which is just crazy. Whereas here in Texas, you can Uber it or even drive yourself very easily. What's really interesting about the Texas airport is that when you get off the plane, the way that it's designed, you're literally almost already to the car. So if you have an Uber waiting right outside, you literally step off the plane, and it's like 100 feet before you are able to collect your bags and get into an Uber. So that's pretty cool. But that was just the ease of the airport is a huge bonus. The fact that the DFW airport is just tremendous, and it's right in the middle of the country, is really cool. We've already flown home once since we've been here for round trip tickets of $115. So it's 4 tickets for less than $500. The whole family got to go home. That was pretty cool. We've looked at San Diego, Florida, North Carolina, like I said, Colorado. One of the big factors in our move was our marriage. Kyla and I both had some places around the country that we thought were cool. I didn't want to move to Minnesota. No way. But there's so many people who say it's a cool place to be. So I was like open to kind of checking it out, but my wife was like, no way, no how, sick of being cold. She also was not about Colorado. As a matter of fact, we never went and checked it out. And I just know that is God's country. It is so absolutely beautiful in that area of the country, but we'll have to go there on vacation. So collectively, we decided after, much discussion, especially prayer, that collectively that we were going to come here. So we came here 2 or 3 times, checking it out. We flew in. It was easy. Rented a car, easy. We literally drove around. I'm going to do another video. We'll probably do a bunch of videos on the best way to explore when you come to check this area out. But, we did that 2 or 3 times since we moved here. And, there's 3 major cities in Texas. There's Austin, Houston, and Dallas. And literally, since I've been living in Dallas, or in the North Dallas area, Austin sounds really cool. Houston has I'm sorry, not many people say great things about it. So when we moved to DFW, I'm looking at my notes here. Talking about the airports. Yeah, the Houston thing was not an option. Austin would have been pretty cool, and I look forward to going down there and checking it out in the spring or the fall of the upcoming year. But suffice to say, we settled on North Dallas, and I'm not talking about North Dallas. I'm talking about this unique neighborhood area that literally starts at the very top end of North Dallas. So I think Richmond is a neighborhood, or it's the uppermost city to Dallas, and then from Richmond, like if you were to draw a circle, Richmond's at the very top of Dallas, or Dallas County, or Dallas City, whatever it's called. Dallas zip code. You live there. You are in the Dallas school zone. And above there is where we live. So there's cities like Allen, big city, McKinney, big city, Frisco, big city, Plano, big city, and that goes all the way up to a city called Prosper, which is really up and coming. And above Prosper, you're like in the country. And then as far over to the east as a city called Rockwall, which is absolutely beautiful. People speak very highly about it. And then all the way to the west, a town called South Lake, which has a lot of old money and a lot of big houses and big properties. And it's just amazing. You drive around, you open up Zillow or the MLS, and you look at these houses, and like, this house is the breadth of it is just tremendous. It's got 2 different driveways, and it's only like $500,000. And I'm like, what? That is crazy. Which is another reason we moved out of the Northeast, because houses like that are millions of dollars, and they don't even exist except for in maybe like I can't remember the name of the town right across the bridge from New York City, but it's called something Cliffs. And then if you go a little further north into Greenwich. So, I'll go into much more depth about all the different reasons why we moved. The main purpose that we have in doing these videos is to share information about neighborhoods, cities, communities, and what's very different and what's very familiar to people who are just not from around here. So I hope that this brought some value to you. We're building a YouTube channel to really create information for friends, families, people we don't know that are moving here. We are doing a pretty big real estate project that is really the thrust of this. It's allowing you to connect with someone like me who knows what you're going through, help you maybe find a home, help people who live here understand the subdivisions, because even when you live here, you could go on Zillow and find a house. You click on the little icon where you have access to the person who's the listing agent, and they want to sell you the house. Of course, the listing agent wants to sell you a list. These people only have 2 or 3 listings at a time, but you need to understand how the neighborhoods work, how the communities work, how the subdivisions work, and the listing agent is certainly not going to share that with you. So that's where we're stepping in and doing something very different, because people don't understand what it looks like to someone from out of town. A lot of the real estate agents have lots of experience, years and years and years of experience in this area, which in some cases can be a tremendous benefit, and in other cases can be a snare to them. So, I really want to give you options to understand how that all works. We actually moved here, stayed in an Airbnb for 2 months, and now we're renting a house for 15 months. It would have been ideal to stay in an Airbnb for 3-4 months at most, and then buy a house. But there's a big decisions to make in terms of what school you need to put your kids in. My kids are all, when we moved here, we had 3 kids under 6. So basically, wherever we put the roots down is where they're going to stay for the next 17 years. So that being said, you need to do some research, and we're going to try and provide that research. I know it's a vast amount of information, but we didn't have anything, and we've done tons of research. We've come here on 2 or 3 different exploratory trips. I want to share with you how those went and what's the best way to do it. So I hope this brought some value to you. If there's any way that I can help you, feel free to reach out. This is what we're doing. We're going to create a way to do temporary housing. It's really challenging because, let's say I connect with 5 people. I don't have 5 houses. I don't have 5 temporary Airbnbs. So maybe I'll connect with someone who does Airbnb that's willing to do them long term. I'm not sure. Because just 1 or 2 creates a significant amount of income. As a matter of fact, when you move here and you want to do something like that, reach out to me and I can show you how it's really done. But we want to do something like that. So when someone moves here, they have like someone that can connect to us, and they have a place that they can stay, and everything kind of wraps itself up in a way that is just easy. So I hope this brought some value to you, and I hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.